from a news channel maybe. He has a lot of ideas in crypto and adoption, and he has been in touch also with scholars, academics that are researching not from the technical point of view, but from the social and anthropological point of view, which is something interesting because a lot of people are into the technical things, but they search for the new algorithm and how to make it faster and whatever, but they don't search about the human aspect of how does it work actually with people.
Well, I think the main thing that they're driving is that he's making the case of crypto often doesn't yet have the full purpose other than it's being used for speculation, right? Like cryptocurrency, the currency part of it. And the real purpose of a crypto is if you had to use it and wanted to use it in a daily scenario, right? And the problem right now is that in the Western world, we always talk about how it would be so great if you could pay your coffee with Bitcoin. But you know what? We're doing great paying our coffee with the credit card, Apple Pay, or cash. But in other countries, you know, certain parts of Africa and where there's high inflation, Venezuela and South American countries, you actually have communities where their money doesn't really work. Either the inflation is brutal, or access to banking is completely void and not fair. It's not equal. And that's where it would be amazing to introduce a currency, a cryptocurrency, and say, hey, here's a community, limited amount of size. If you really think through the whole 360 of what it would take to make it happen, to kind of kickstart it, how could that work? And so we contracted Total Crypto to research and write it's a big read. It's 50 pages, I think, the core part, 30 pages addendum, but they put a lot of thought and work into it, and it basically says, is at least in their mind, how this could work. How would you start from zero? Starting with where in the world would you actually find such a community? How would you select such a community? And then what are all the things you needed to do to get it done? Right. And it's really cool.
What are all the pieces of the puzzle?
Because one of the ideas is we want to involve the community with the review of the playbook, feedback, make it better.
Gotcha. Where can you find this document?
We'll send it to you.
Yeah, we'll
right now we're.
So
it's not public yet because right now the idea is that we are all reviewing it. Everybody in the team that wants to can review it, and then we'll have a discussion, some suggestions.
We want to basically create a version 1 amongst us that we feel is great because they wrote it for us, but we want to improve it to the point where we say now we want to give it to the community as a research result kind of. And then want to involve them and ask them to contribute to better it and make suggestions of maybe where do we see shortcomings or what could be improved of the concept and the approach. And then we actually over time want to say, with the community, help decide, are we going to do phase 1, which is find the location and the community and this and that. Number 2, should we then contact at location all these different things that it takes? Once you read it, you'll see what I'm talking about. And number 3, the last stage would be, let's go for it. This is it. Commitment.
Take action.
Bam. I think what Tom did a really good job in is motivating and reasoning every step and deducting why do this, why do that, why is this necessary before we actually do anything. But technically, it's a white paper. It's an open source version of how you could do this. Really well thought through. We were thinking of Wikipedia. We just had the idea because how do you make it a document that the world can work with? And contribute to. And I think we'll look into it. We're thinking because Google Docs is not really the...
We were saying Google Docs is not something ideal, and Wikipedia makes a lot of sense for this. But I mean, if we host it under something like wiki.nimiq.com,
does that exist?
We can.
That would be cool.
We can do it.
Yeah.
So there is something open source that we can use as a wiki.
Wiki.nimiq.com.
And we host it in wiki.nimiq.com.
writing tests is always a grind. It's
You
just
have- so tests are written. I thought Rust was this one thing where the beauty of it was it's kind of self.
you still have to test stuff. I mean, you still have to execute the code, right? I mean, Rust basically gives you a lot of compile time safety. Basically, it tells you, it can tell you a lot of things that are wrong before you even run the code.
Okay.
But you know, there are still like plenty of problems which you can only see when you actually execute the code. So you still have to run the code.
What we did before in the last hackathon was mainly data structures, basically the foundation of everything. And I think these are also mostly finished, only little parts missing there. Now, a lot of us are currently working on the networking part, because that's a bit tricky in Rust, or because it's different than in JavaScript.
Very soon, I think. Well, the first ones to arrive are, you know, the Reto and the guys from Agora Trade from Switzerland. So I think they're coming here in like less than a week, and then the front end guys are coming.